Awesome. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Saturday. I'm not sure what else you guys all had plans for, but my name is Steve. I do brand training and education with MAC for Canada, but also specifically the region. So I cover the prairies. We're going to talk a little bit about MAC as a brand, and then of course do a fabulous makeup on my model, Brielle. So she's looking gorgeous already, so it won't be hard, I don't think. Excited to talk a little bit about all the product knowledge I have, and please, throughout today, ask as many questions as you want. I think Ray and I want to talk a little bit about recruitment opportunities as well as career with MAC. So I know some of you have attended different types of courses like esthetician classes. But there is a lot of career opportunities through all the ELC brands. So when it comes to working for MAC, artistry is such a big part. And I do find sometimes newer makeup artists are a little bit intimidated to apply to the brand. And I just want to say, we need to debunk that. Yes. That is like a myth. So many people start their makeup careers at MAC, and that's where they grow their skill set. Honestly, 15 years ago, I went to makeup school and I studied film and television, special effects, theatric makeup. Leaving makeup school, I felt a little overwhelmed because you move so quickly through every single aspect that there's not really as much time to actually practice. Yeah. Working for a brand like MAC has really allowed me to kind of develop my skills, work on all ages, all races, all genders, kind of cater to everyone, such like a diverse population, right? Which Canada is known for. So please do not feel shy to apply, especially if you feel like your artistry is not quite there yet. We will grow your skills. Whatever you bring to the table, we want it.
Yeah. And specifically right now, the locations that would be looking for support would be Chinook and Market Mall. So if you're able to work at those locations, I highly recommend that you go onto our career site and look at what's available, as well as pop into those locations and talk to the managers and just let them know that you are interested in opportunities. If you are kind of going more towards that skincare route, not necessarily as much into the makeup world, then you can also reach out and let me know, or and I can put you in touch with the right people for those opportunities as well. I think we actually have quite a few posted right now on our website, our Estee Lauder website, and they're to support Sephora and all of the Estee Lauder brands.
Yeah, so with that, like Ray said, reach out directly to her. Feel free to get in touch, obviously, with Jazreen and Chavi, and they can contact us if any of you are interested. One final thing we wanted to kind of talk about before we really get into the makeup is pro membership.
Yes. So we offer some really great opportunities with MAC for pro in our aesthetics, nails, makeup community, hair. So as a student right now, you are eligible for a free MAC Pro membership. You just have to go in and apply for it. There's a little bit of criteria you have to submit through the site. It's usually very quick turnaround, and they'll get you that 20% discount to your email right away. That's active. You can shop in our stores and get 20% off of pretty much everything. Once you do complete, there is a fee. So right now, the student membership, we always waive it. But there is a fee when you do complete your schooling and you get your makeup artistry diploma or aesthetics diploma. You would apply for the MAC Pro membership. There is a membership fee with it, but you get anywhere from 30 to 40% discounts depending on what program you're graduating from. And that's usually available immediately, and that will help you kind of fill your kits going forward as well at a nice little discount.
Totally.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll get everybody set up with the student pro cards for sure. Yeah.
So Ray did mention, we've both worked for MAC for such a long time. We did probably both start in the same role, which is an on-call role. So that's generally what you would apply for. An on-call position within the MAC world means you can pick up shifts at any location. From there, once you kind of get your groove, you learn how our sales work and our stores work. You can apply for more of a permanent position, which would be more full-time or still part-time. From there, you get to go to basic training, which will likely be with me or with another trainer across Canada. In that, we talk about our brand heritage a little bit more, our, sales techniques, product knowledge, really everything to build the basket and build that connection with customers. And then from there, we offer more skill certification. So we do skill certifications for paid makeup services. Then we do advanced certifications as well to really take your artistry to that next level. So think more of an editorial flair.
Supporting the Junos.
Yeah.
Things like that, bigger events.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. let's get started. What I've done so far on Brielle is prep her skin with some of our skincare. Honestly, my favorite products. I'm gonna give them to Ray so she can just pass them around. I used Hyperreal Serumizer and then our Skin Canvas Balm. These are both the full size, both incredible for all skin types, but the Serumizer specifically in the pump bottle is like the hero. It really creates like a plump, dewy looking skin that grips makeup. Often when people are using it, they skip using a primer. From there, I took a little bit of our eyeshadow paint pot in the shade Painterly. You've probably seen it before, it's very popular. It's essentially a very neutral beige eyeshadow base. So if you want to pass it around, feel free. So I was talking to Brielle and asked her how she likes to do her makeup, and she generally said more neutral as well as with like a glowier skin type. Our friends here at GD requested a little bit more of like a soft glam makeup look, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Starting on the eyes while the skin almost marinates in the skincare, I'm going to go in, I think, with this palette. So it's the x12 Connecting Color Unfiltered Nudes palette. And I'm going to focus more on the matte shades today, just to really like carve out the eye and keep it a little bit sultry. Taking a look at Brielle's eye shape, what do you all notice? Yeah, it's a little bit more hooded. So if we really want the eyes to, I guess, have more attention to them, I'm gonna need to pull the eyeshadow up a little bit higher because that's where she has a lot of real estate. When it comes to her eyelid itself, once it's open, you don't really see a lot of it. So I'm gonna use that area to add a little bit of depth. The darker colors, it kind of camouflages a little bit more. I think the shade is Wedge, a classic. Okay. Close. Starting on the outer corner, this really is just like my first shade, just to add a little bit of a soft transitional color. The brush, of course, is a very fluffy eyeshadow blending brush. I believe it's the 217. You'll probably notice the brushes that I have on my brush belt. There's a lot of duplicates. Like once you find something you like, you just kind of want more and more of it. You don't really need too many different styles. Now, a reason I've chosen to do Brielle's eyes first is because in case I decide to go in with a little bit more shimmer or with a deeper tone, I don't want any fallout to ruin the skin we've worked on. Just kind of how I like to do makeup, but you'll find what works for you, of course. Now taking a look at Brielle's eye color as well, once she opens them, her eyes are a little bit more on the green side. How do you all feel about color theory? Do you reference color theory when you're doing like a makeup service or working on a model or a bride? Yeah? What would be complementary to green? So you have a few options. You may want to kind of reach for either warmer shades, colors that have a bit more of that red hue in them. So it doesn't have to be red or orange, but browns that are warmer. Another shade option could be something cooler, more like a plum tone. You don't have to go for pure purple if you don't want to though. So something that does have almost like a mauve-y kind of base to it would be really pretty to make her eyes look a little bit extra jade. Okay. So Brielle has one of those eye shapes that I feel like you can very easily pull the eyeshadow upwards and it almost just like extends it. Perfect. Like, can you believe that's literally just one eyeshadow and her eyes look done? Like, take a look at that. I'm like, you don't need more than that. We're gonna do more. All done. All done, right? I'm gonna go in, I think, with more of this like ochre type color. Has a little bit of like a yellow hue to it. Just to add a bit more depth. Tighter into the eye here, where the eye folds over. Now I haven't shifted brush because I want a very soft blown out application. And I'm gonna leave it up to you all actually in the room. What do you think? Should we lean a little bit more plummy or should we lean into those warmer browns, like the reddy orangey browns? What would you like to see? Plummy? Maybe we are doing it.
Maybe we are going plum.
Have we agreed on plummy? Okay. Then I'm gonna switch palettes. I have this guy here. It is the Embedded in Burgundy, so it does have some plum tones. I think adding a little bit of that will help bring out that green. Just need to give it a spritz.
You want this one?
Yeah, sure. I also have an eyeshadow stick that I think I'll use, and Ray will pass around the ones I'm not using, just so you can kind of feel them. Feel free to swatch them. They're unused, but just go for it.
Pass around the light one too, because I think that one's
Yeah,
great
exactly.
color for freelancing.
Boop, boop.
There we go.
Okay. So before I go in with any plums, I'm gonna brighten the inner corner with just like a neutral shade, very close to her skin tone. Hello. Close.
So these are the eyeshadow sticks and kind of a little bit choppy. Sorry, I'm like, I'm in the way back here. Really, really easy to use. Great for those who are trying to do a lot of freelancing and trying to save some time.
Definitely great for saving time. Thank you, Ray, for saying that. Okay, because you want plummy, I'm gonna focus a little bit more on these two colors on the left. So there's like a soft mauve and then an actual burgundy. I'll keep that really tight to the lashes just for the most depth rather than using like a black. It's just gonna kind of create that little bit of spark. Okay. And close, please, Brielle. So with that dark burgundy, I am just gonna keep it tight to the lashes as if it's a liner almost, pulling it outwards, and then we'll go in with that Dazzle Shadow Stick Ray was talking about. So at MAC, we do focus a lot on the artistry portion of storytelling. So talking about blending, brush style, brush technique, I'm using a little bit of a smaller brush for this, more of a pencil shape, really to pack the color on. At first I was using a fluffier brush really to loosely apply products. Now I want that intensity. Always take a step back just so you can see what the model looks like full face. If you have a mirror in front of them, utilizing that is such a good technique because you almost see it from a different perspective. When you're very close working next to a model, you almost tune into like one feature. It's hard to see that full picture, right? Okay, what questions do we have so far while I'm continuing? Please don't be shy. I'm getting tired of talking.
I was wondering about your blush.
My blush, all MAC, I promise. So the blush I'm wearing today is called, it's in the bag, Ray, but it's Blush Please. It's a cream blush. I'm gonna use one on her, but maybe not the same shade. We'll see. Blush is probably my favorite product. I'm sorry to interrupt. Blush is probably my favorite product, so I'm a little blush blind these days.
So it's kind of a cream.
It's like a putty. Feel free to press it, use your finger. You'll notice it's very unique.
Yeah. It's like creamy, but not creamy.
Right?
Which is really nice because it goes on and still gives you the look of a cream blush, but without the intimidation of the heaviness that usually comes with cream blushes.
It's also a unique formula because a lot of the cream blushes on the market right now are either in a stick form or they're very waxy. A waxy cream blush is nice because you think it's easy to blend, but it is almost so wet it like starts to melt off. This for a cream product has a strong amount of oil control, so it actually stays put, has a lot of grip to it. So it makes a very good base underneath your favorite powder blushes. Yeah.
Using the small smudge brush for coming the color?
Yes, so it's a 217, no,
219.
219.
Yep.
I have a lot of them. Great for shading on top of the eye, right under the eye, any of those areas you want it to feel a little bit more tight and smoky. Okay, Brielle, why don't you in a minute take a look? We're still gonna add a bit of shimmer, but that's what we've done. I don't think you've seen it.
Sorry, Chloe, I like
Yeah, it's cute, right? It's like a nice way to softly add color. You don't have to go straight for purple. You can go for purple hues.
Yeah.
I'm noticing it's a little uneven, so let's see, close. Gorgeous. Love it. Okay, so Ray grabbed me this. It was brand new, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Brand
perfect.
spanking new.
I'm gonna dust a little bit of that eyeshadow stick on the lid where it's a little bit brighter because this color is a little lighter. Close. And I'm going directly in with the pencil. I feel like you could pick a little bit up with the brush, but this will be a little bit more impact. To blend it though, because I do have quite a bit on the eye, I'm gonna use more of a stiff brush just to really like smudge more so.
I love this shadow stick. It's so good.
You like it?
Yeah.
They're long wearing too. Ray and I always talk about that.
Does it smudge when the eyes open?
It doesn't. It's I think the claim is about 24 hours, but I mean, if you want to wear it for that long, it is a longer wearing product. And I don't find that it smudges. You can layer it, but to a point where, you know, you don't want to go too crazy layering. But it does stay on really well. Yeah, I've worn it to the gym before,
Oh, there you go.
and it hasn't moved.
Did you pass the gold one around, Ray?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
whenever they're done, I want it for the inner corner, but no rush. We don't need it yet.
There's a little gold one. That one's fantastic. I will grab that from you because we're going to use that. Because that is a great way to just add a quick little bright highlight in the inner corner of the eye without a lot of effort.
So you might notice I've layered a lot of products, but I've still managed to keep the makeup look pretty soft. Layering eyeshadow, layering face products is really the way you get a long wearing look. And I feel like it's the most modern too. So you can kind of achieve multi-dimensional looks without it looking too thick, right? But everyone has their own makeup style, so some people prefer the full richness of like a dark kohl. Others prefer a soft shadow. Thanks, Ray. Okay, close. Okay, open. Close. Thanks.
Ready to go.
Awesome. Okay. And I'll use that lighter gold color just on the inner corner. Close your eyes. You really don't need a lot of this, especially if you want more so just the shimmer rather than the color of it. That's why this light gold is so nice, actually. Definitely going to be using it the most. So,
Yep.
thank you. I'm going to take a break from the eyes for a while. We're going to move into the skin. I feel like all the products that might potentially fall down haven't fallen down, so that's good. But I'm going to work on the skin a little bit. I prepped my model's skin, Brielle, and I think I'm going to reach for the Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. MAC Strobe lineup, if you haven't used it, is like incredible. And we just revitalized it. So we have this formula, the strobe creams, as well as now liquid blushes. Those are all very glowy. So I am going to do my best to maintain glow in certain areas for more of that modern skin look. It doesn't have to be shiny everywhere, right?
Whereas this product, this end of the room is more of a cream. So it's more of a moisturizer. You can use it so many different ways. You can put it under foundation, over top of foundation. You can mix it in with foundation as well. But those ones are more about the skin tones. These ones have the bronze built into it, or there's a pink or like a lavender undertone built into them for brightness.
Is there like lots of shade ranges for?
There's 12, I
There is
think.
12,
No,
yeah.
16, I think, actually. Because there's light, medium, deep, and rich.
There's
Yeah, there's 16.
Or in each one. Yeah.
So before I go in with a skin tint, I did use a small amount of primer. I chose to use more of a matte primer just to help control and maintain oil because I've done a lot of skin prep. I didn't apply it all over her face, really just in the center, really right here, down the nose, and on the chin. So I feel like her cheeks don't really need any primer.
Is there a primer that you would recommend that doesn't separate?
This is my favorite one. Mattifying primer. I wear it on myself. I use it on models as well as like clients and in store. Incredible for refining texture while controlling oil. Does not look dry.
Yeah.
I love it. Does not look dry at all. Okay. So because this is a skin tint, it is very sheer. I'm gonna build up coverage using a concealer in a moment. The shade I chose was medium 1, I think. No, light 3. And honestly, I might want to shift colors. It's okay. It's a little richer. Her arms are a bit richer, and that's kind of where I swatched it earlier. I think it'll be okay for a base because I'm going to brighten other areas. But I'm also wearing the skin tint today, actually. I think I've recently fallen in love with them because I was on vacation. And, you know, every time you go on vacation, you come back, you're a different color and your makeup doesn't match. So this has kind of been my saving grace because of how sheer it is. I can use it to almost adjust all the other products I already own without buying too many foundations I might not wear again, right?
Remember at the top of there had the price of the strobe dewy tints.
They're in the 40 range. I think it's like 47.
I was gonna say 48, but somewhere around there. Yeah.
How does Brielle's skin look so far? Glowy? Is it the Studio Radiance one? It smells so good. So I have shifted to under the eyes. I'm really trying to locate where on my model's face she might need the most coverage because I want the skin to still look very like lightweight. I don't want to use a full coverage today foundation. So under the eyes is where I went first. I have a custom blend of 2 concealers. They're both our Studio Fix concealer. One's a bit lighter, one's a bit deeper, so I'm kind of just pressing into them. They both do have more of like a rosy undertone just to help balance and color correct, which will eliminate the need for me to utilize an additional product, right? Okay. So this concealer is our Studio Fix concealer. It provides medium to fuller coverage. It comes in a very small, convenient size, so I like it for a kit because it's not too heavy. It's also not glass. We have another concealer in a glass bottle. Love her, but sometimes it can break, and that is a pain. When it comes to the brush, I'm using something a little bit more dense. So this is the 2 70S, really small concealer brush, great for pressing or dragging. Pressing, though, of course, will allow you to build up a little bit more coverage, so that's what I'm mainly going to be doing under the eyes here. So Brielle has a little bit of texture just on her forehead here, so I will do a bit more of that matte finish. That will almost help diffuse the light so it looks a little bit more smooth and seamless. It's all about really selectively placing your products and knowing when to stop, as well as where on the face needs what texture. How does it look from back there, Ray?
Flawless.
Love it.
Yeah, like in a second, like blemishes are gone. Yeah.
Brielle also has really gorgeous freckles on her nose, as well as through the cheeks. So I don't think I really want to cover those up because I think it really speaks to who she is as like a person, right? It's her personal trademark, I think. Okay.
A little more like flat and dense, round and dense, so you can kind of do sweeping, but you can also press. Yeah. Yeah, we've got texture coming around, it'll eventually get down here.
Now, one reason I do like to use like a very sheer skin base and then build up coverage with a concealer is because concealer has such a long wearing property to it. Like, I don't care what any foundation says, concealer will wear longer. It truly does. So even softly grazing the cheeks with it underneath blush will allow products to stay in place all day long. And I also feel like when you kind of go at it with this like idea of layering sheer layers, your skin doesn't try to break it down as quickly also.
It's not must to put the foundation if you're preparing skin like this, right?
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
It's not must to add some base or foundation if you're preparing skin like this.
I don't think so. And the skin tint does have some color and coverage. So really you need to identify who your model is, what their natural skin is like before you kind of choose which products. Brielle has really clean, like perfect skin. So you can do anything with it. But keeping it sheer is kind of nice. More real life. So I feel like that's kind of too something that people think of MAC. People think of MAC as a brand where you go to get a makeover. And that is true, but we do everyday makeup as well. And I feel like a lot of people out there don't know that. So being able to inspire people out there and teach them how to utilize products in their everyday lives goes a long way. Okay, Brielle, take a look at your skin for now. Looks great. I will add a bit more coverage because we have a new product. So we have the new Studio Fix powder. This product is MAC's top selling foundation. It has been around for 33 years, which is insane. 33 years, it's almost as old as me. We finally updated it. So it's a new modernized formula. Literally came out, I think, 2 to 3 weeks ago. New shades, new texture. It's a lot more blurring. So I'm excited to try it out. I'm gonna use it to set certain areas. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay. What I'm gonna do is, these are brand new, first time I've used them, just so we all know. Okay. I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna start somewhere a little bit further back, just in case the color's not perfect. But I think it will be. Sometimes you need to camouflage stuff. You gotta know how it looks, then you can commit fully to it. Don't start in the center of the face when you're not sure. Okay, doing downward sweeps, really light. Downward's gonna be really great because if she has any like natural soft baby hairs, it's gonna press them into the foundation, kind of help camouflage it.
What brush is that?
This is the 116, so it's a powder brush that's quite small, really great for blush generally. I don't love a big brush when I'm working on someone else's face because I like to take my time and be very like particular about where I'm applying products. This is good for myself when I don't care. But for somebody who I've never met before, I really want to make sure that every single kind of brush stroke is doing what I want and has purpose too. Okay.
Has anyone had an opportunity to try the new Studio Fix powder?
I haven't tried the new one, but this is my go-to.
That's your
for every
go-to?
day. Like right now, I'm really into contact powders and this is powder.
This upgrade is better than the previous one, far better.
I have some here if you want to pass one around. Just open it. Okay, I am going to switch brushes, utilize something a little bit smaller to really place this tight under the eye. Before you set under the eye, ensure that the product looks how you want it to look. If there's any creasing, do another blend over just so it doesn't set the lines there. Okay, let's see. Take a look up, Brielle. Okay. Look up. Look up. So you may notice I didn't powder her cheeks fully because I like that glow that's kind of built up. Do you mind turning your head this way? So she still has a little bit more dimensional looking skin. And it's kind of crazy because I didn't contour, but it looks like she's contoured. And I think that's really because of the textural difference. And if you think of texture harmony, no one's face in real life should be fully matte or fully glowy. You need both, right? So I just think that's insane how blurring this powder is. It really smoothed out any additional texture, but I can see that healthy strobe glow, which is great for summer. I truly believe this makeup will last on her skin if she was like in the heat, Okay, I am gonna add a little bit of blush in because we did go for a little bit of like a rosier, plummier tone. I don't want it to be like purple, but that's what I'm gonna kind of go towards. And I think I will use one of the new Strobe Beam liquid blushes. Did you pass them around already?
I did not.
No? Okay. I have the shade Nightlight, which is a little bit more plum, and it looks a bit more intimidating. Like it's a darker color. What's special about these is they're very emollient, very creamy. The pigment load isn't as strong as you would anticipate. Like compared to other ones on the market, you don't need to be afraid of these. They'll melt into bare skin, skincare. Honestly, they're gonna melt into the Studio Fix powder even. But yeah, I'm just gonna lightly graze a little bit of that on. What I'll do, you know what? I'm sorry, 1 second. I might want one of those colors too. Okay, I feel like you can probably pass this one around.
Perfect. Get some orange.
Go. And then maybe a little bit of this. Okay.
So these are the new liquid blushes. They don't require a whole lot. Like you can really sheer them out, build them up.
I have two colors right here. I have the Nightlight color that I think Ray's passing around, and then I also have Ice Gleam, which is one of the top sellers because I think it looks so safe, really soft, like easy to wear peachy pink. I'm gonna kind of mix them, which I haven't done before, so I hope they look good together. When you wear your blush, where do you like to wear it on your face? Obviously the cheeks, but like...
Just like, I don't know, up there.
Yeah, okay.
Around there.
Taking a look at my model's features, let's consider the blush placement. Blush placement's very important to almost help shape the face, just like contouring and highlighting. If I were to apply the blush fuller on her cheek where her apple is, it's almost going to add volume, which is going to make her face look a little bit more plump, rounder, almost more youthful. I think Brielle's already youthful enough, so I'm gonna go a bit higher, really to almost just accentuate her natural bone structure. I think it's gonna help lift and kind of create that finished look. Yeah, I personally on myself like it kind of lower because I like adding volume to my face. I like looking very like a cherub. Okay. So this brush is a 130 dual fiber brush. What that is a brush that's great for liquid and cream products. I love it because it does a really good job of wisping products on without leaving fine lines. It also uses all the product that you load the brush up with, so you don't really lose any product.
This is a lighter version, so you have it in a bunch of different shades. This one is called Star.
Yeah, this actually looks.
Yeah. So this would be something if you wanted to lighten up a little bit color.
Turn your head a little this way if you don't mind.
And create your own blush shade with a highlight built into it.
So some of the storytelling for this product, like Ray said, you can create your own blush shades like I am. They're really inspired by like sunrise, sunset colors. They're gonna be so pretty in the summer once everyone's skin gets a little bit more like sun-kissed. Turn back the other way if you don't mind. I'm really just lightly grazing the model's skin. Like I am not trying to put down a lot of pressure. I do not want to disturb any of the makeup that's existing underneath. Turn towards me a little bit. Okay, let's see. And I don't think I mentioned, but this product is safe for the lips as well. So if you wanted to do like a monochromatic look, you can utilize it as a lip stain. So that's just a great option.
And the best selling one that you said, you can mix it with other tones.
That's what I'm doing, yeah. Because I thought the plum might be a little dark on her. So, you know, utilizing both of them.
Plus it gives a real sheer look, like.
Yeah, layer, customize. Like if you are getting into kind of that freelance world and that's sort of what you're gonna be building your kit around to accommodate, you know, many different skin tones, needs.
You need to be able to
different events,
mix.
Then we all kind of know that like what can fit in this is the best and you can kind of customize and blend and build and make what you need in the moment. So products like that are really great for layering, mixing. Instead of having 20 blush colors, you can have 3, 3 or 4.
I think I will just use a powder to set some of it in place. A powder blush. This one is in the shade Warm Soul. Sorry, this guy thinks. Just to trace the perimeter of her face. It's a little bit more of like a bronzy mineralized product. So mineralized products have natural light reflection in them. They're not necessarily dry looking. So I think it will add to the look we've created. And color-wise, it has a bit more warmth to it. So. Yeah, what's the question?
Can we see the compact powder one more time?
Of course, yeah.
Get a chance to see that.
There's a few shade options Ray can pass around too. Maybe just keep the N4 here because I might use it.
What kind of shades we need to put in our anything? Like as a makeup
honest?
I think you might want to just identify, like if you have a specific demographic you cater to, identify what you already have in your kit to kind of build off of that. For myself, trying to have something for everyone, I usually have like 2 to 3 in the lighter, 2 to 3 in the medium, 2 to 3 in the dark, and then 2 to 3 in the deep. From there too, you want a couple undertones. So some rosier, some golden. Because even if you don't have the perfect shade for your model, you can mix 1 dab in each one, right? To kind of do that customized effect. Okay.
Who else wanted to see the powder? There you go. And these will now be refillable as well with the Studio Fix powder. So you won't need to purchase the compact every time, just the refills. Better for the environment as well. We don't know what the price is for the refills yet because they're not coming until July.
Same blush?
But they will be.
This is, yeah, Mineralize in Warm Soul. Ray, I think I saw at Chinook, they had a sign and it was like 43 or something.
Yes, I think that's what they are, but I don't know exactly because they're not here yet.
Okay.
They haven't made it to the distribution section.
Totally.
There are some things we do offer refills, like the eyeshadow palettes. So instead of buying individual shades, you can buy like in a palette version and then refill your palettes. You can customize the palette. Powders are refillable now, but that's sort of the only products.
Okay. I think what I would like to do is okay, look up for me, Brielle. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a soft pencil.
If you wanted full coverage, you could definitely still use that maybe with a concealer or with the, we do have a couple of heavier products as well that you can put underneath and put that on top if you wanted like full coverage. Yeah, we do have, we have something called full coverage concealer foundation palettes essentially, where you've got
Ray, I have those here.
palette, we're waiting for them to come. We also have these concealer palettes that I'll grab from Steve to show you as well. So if you put that underneath and you put that powder on over top, you get a full coverage.
Okay. So because Brielle has a little bit of a hooded eye, going back to the eye, sometimes the eyelid and the eyeshadow can get lost. So really utilizing the eye space that you have under can be very impactful. It can add a lot of depth, really pull the look together and create a little bit more of that sultriness. Okay, look up if you don't mind. I'm so sorry if you're sensey.
We just have that one, but what you would want to do is like if something is really, really dry, you would just want to make sure that you're kind of layering your skin prep to consider that, or it will create something that you can kind of way that it
So good.
picking up on the dryness. For sure, there's some fixes. That one's $48. Yeah.
So sorry.
Are you using the same color as of your?
So I chose to use an eye kohl. Eye kohls are very creamy. They're honestly not our longest wearing pencil, but what's nice about them is you can manipulate them, melt them, smush them, blend them, and then I'll stamp some eyeshadow on top. But this is really gonna give you that worn in, smoky sultriness, where more of like a gel liner, liquid liner, obviously it's gonna be sharp, but you can't blend it. Okay. Look up for me again. I actually think adding just that small amount made the eyes look 10 times better, in my opinion. And then I'm gonna go in, I think, with a little bit of a dark brown. Okay, look up. Look up again. close. Okay, I will use that same face powder.
As you've been layering,
They look a little more blue.
they do look a little more blue from back
They
there.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna use that same face powder under her brow just to diffuse any last bits of shadow so there's no areas untraced. That's kind of one nice thing about this product too, is using it on the actual eyelid. It's so blurring. Thinking about color theory and like product and color storytelling, what do you think we should do on the lips to kind of match the vibe and pull everything together? Nude? Nude?
Yeah.
When you think of nude, what are some like key words that kind of come to mind? Like, are you thinking more of her lip nude or flesh tone?
Lip nude, I guess.
Lip nude more so? Then Brielle curled her lashes already, but let's see. I feel like they're curled. I'm not even going to do it. Because her lashes are so curled, I'm going to reach for MAC Stack Elevated. This is a mascara that's made specifically to hold a curl. So her lashes will not fall from the weight of the mascara. It's going to stay a little bit more luminous, more wispy, and kind of give that effect. Unfortunately, I don't have the matching brushes, but it does have a curved brush. So if I was using that, that would be really nice to almost hug her lash. Okay, let's see. If you can look down for me. Okay, your lashes are actually so curled. I'm like trying to get in here. Look straight. Wow. Look down that way. I just need one more of these with nothing on it. Look down that way for me. Look straight. Down. So I'm just really layering this mascara on, but specifically to the outside. I feel like I pulled her shadow outward, so I'm trying to recreate that with the lashes and just have that like wisping, pulling effect. Looks great. Okay, look down. Nope, need more. Okay.
Nice little fancy little fixed parts.
Right, I actually will probably reach for that right away.
Clean anything for
No.
I feel like there'll be some questions about brushes after. You guys can come up and look at the brushes because I know a few people had
Look
some
down
questions
again. Okay.
about a few more brushes.
So funny because when you apply mascara on yourself, you go from under, but when I'm applying it on a model, I love to go from the top as well to almost pull through and like decluster. It's funny that you do things so differently on yourself versus others. I don't know. Like, look straight. Okay, I just want a little bit more mascara. That brush honestly was not good. I needed the thin one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, look down. Straight. And down. Straight. And then look up. Just going to do really lightly under. And up again. All right, so lip, we want something more nude. I think I'm gonna go for one of our new pencils that's really popular. At least I wanna see it on her skin tone. It's called Cool Spice. I love it, if I can find it. It's the shortest one because I use it the most. Can I see your hand? Just wanna see how the color looks. It's like a nice cool tone neutral. Then I think,
Has anybody used Spice Pencil, Whirl Pencil, Soar?
all the classics.
Yeah. So Spice is a very popular shade for us. It works with a lot of tones, but it is a little bit of a warmer shade. So earlier this year, in January, we launched a whole nude collection, and we did come out with a new lip pencil, a bunch of new lip pencils, but the most popular has been Cool Spice. We do have it back in stock, but it is a great color. It's a little bit
Just wanna
more
wipe your lip,
cooler
okay?
version
Just stretch
of
your
that
lip.
warmer spice. Works with a lot of options, and it's really kind of fitting into that trend right now where people like that, a little bit more depth with their pencils, a little bit more definition, and that kind of 90s vibe as well.
So one thing that Ray didn't mention, thank you Ray for saying so much about it.
Sorry, I'm like,
Yeah, the storytelling is like crazy. So Spice was one of our most iconic shades, originally from the 90s. Over time, the pigment load did become a little bit warmer, so it became peachier and peachier. This is a close duplicate of that like 90s supermodel lip. And I feel like there's a lot of discourse online, lots of people saying that all the makeup's warm out there these days, everything has peach in it. So I'm glad to see us come out with a little bit of a cooler shade and listen to the consumers.
And Ray, I have a question. What are you wearing as your eye makeup?
I
Just wearing them, yeah.
I have actually the same color that he put on her, and then I have in the crease I have this palette on actually.
Oh, okay.
Do you have the like
This
shimmery one on?
Yeah, so I have this one on, and then this is the crease, and then this is the corner of the eye. I know it's one of my favorite shades too, and those like
Do you wear lip
dazzle
liner
sticks
usually?
are the best.
Do you wear
Yeah,
lip
I
liner?
do it
It's so quick and
sometimes,
easy
like when
to
I
put
go
on.
out.
You should wear this one. Look at it. It looks so good even just by itself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I love it. So it almost contours her lip a little bit on the bottom. I honestly don't know what color I want to use. I didn't bring as many lipsticks. I brought these lipstick palettes to reach for. I also have some customizable ones that I did, which is some of the top sellers. They're all matte though. And then I brought in some light creamy ones. So I'm gonna use a creamier one with one of the new glosses, I think. Okay, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm actually gonna use Cream Cup and then put Behaved on top.
That's good. Yeah, has to be matte, and now I'm open to both.
It's seasonal maybe.
Yeah.
It changes with the season.
So yeah.
So I just scraped off a tiny little bit of this lipstick. It's Cream Cup, a light pink. Ray can pass it around. Really just gonna do a soft wash of color and blend it in with that liner for that custom color.
This is kind of that hybrid texture. There is a lot of pigment to it, but you also get a nice shine gloss finish to it. So it works really well for kind of events and brides because you get that depth of color, but you also get a nice sheen with it.
And I would say the shade range is great for brides because there's a lot of really soft, rosy, nude shades in it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you mind, Brielle, like pushing your lips together after? Okay. Yep, absolutely. So these are a pro. So I think it's being passed around. Yeah. I think they were just talking about the one I'm putting on.
Pink one?
No, I'm not,
Oh.
but I think they just wanted to see cream cup.
Cream cup, yeah. I'll pass the palettes around as well. These are a pro items, so they're not something that we carry in store, but we are able to order it for you if it's something that you are interested in, but they're just sort of pre-made lip palettes in different shades.
This looks so good. Like,
That way you don't have to
Yeah, I
carry
do like the lips.
I know, right?
sticks with you. You can just have a couple of different palettes made. And then the shade that's coming around is cream.
And then I'll do a little bit of our new Lip Glass Air. So Lip Glass Air is our newest gloss formula. We have Lip Glass, which is known to be very high shine, but a little sticky. So these are gonna be more for the people that don't like stick. They have an oil blend in them, so they're a little bit more nourishing. That's going to feel more comfortable, actually soften the texture of your lip, almost like a balm would. Love them.
Just kind of melts it in
Mm-hmm.
as well. Yeah, very nice. There are other
Okay,
shades
press
as
together
well, but
softly.
these kind of are very universal. Good for sort of this, this look.
It looks so good.
I do like the gloss.
I know, right? Okay. What else should we do? I mean, we're pretty much there. I feel like fixing her makeup with a spray would be nice right now. So I'm gonna reach for,
Who uses Fix Plus or a version of Fix Plus? Did you use it before you started school or just as you've been?
get close, I'm just gonna give you a spritz here.
But I'm
Yeah.
using more now.
Yeah, you're like, I've expanded to all of the Fix Pluses now.
I have these little custom bottles that I got just from like Umomo, I think, like the dollar store. They're so good to just put the product into. They're so thin and light. So good.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I have one with water. I have one with Magic Radiance. I got it all. Okay, I think the only thing I might consider doing is doing a little black eye kohl on the waterline, but I don't think it's necessary. But what do you guys want to see? It's perfect, don't touch it. Okay, then I'm just gonna powder one more time now that I've fixed plus, and we're pretty well good.
Skin looks flawless.
I
It has
know.
like that perfect glow.
Can you believe that I used powder foundation for this glowy skin? Like, and just because I can't stop, I'm just gonna do a little more. Almost done. What time is it, Ray?
It is 1:37.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
nice. Close. Close.
Not launching any perfumes, any later.
Not that I know of.
We don't know. You know, sometimes we only get to see a little spurts of things that come out in the next little bit, but I haven't seen anything yet. But we never know. Yeah, you never know. That little extra dazzle there just to brighten it up. Any other questions about products, jobs, careers, pro cards?
But you, like you said, you have to go on the site. and
You can go on the
check
site and see, because all of our hiring is done online. And right now, I know I took a quick browse the other day, we have on-calls open for MAC specifically at Market Mall Chinook. And then the Estee Lauder team is looking for support for Shoppers, Drug Mart, Sephora's, and London Drugs, and that would be all Estee Lauder brands. So if it was Sephora, it would encompass MAC as well.
Okay, I think we're done. So just to kind of recap what we did today, really prepped Brielle's skin very well using hyper real formulas, really great for nourishing the skin as well as long-term skin health. I would definitely suggest getting your hands on some of them, whether it's just for yourself for now until you believe, incredible. From there, I did build up her eye look using more of those plum tones because that's kind of what we all decided on. I think this is out of her comfort zone, but it's still pretty soft, so I think you're okay with it. Kept the skin natural and glowy, but modern. So it does have a little bit more of a blurred aspect to certain features under her cheekbone, around the mouth. That glow is really concentrated and kept in one specific area. Remember, I did mattify the center of her face as well. I utilized a lot of our new products, so those liquid strobe blushes, as well as the Dazzle Shadow Stick and our new MAC Stack Elevated. And then the lip is Cool Spice, Cream Cup, and the new Lip Glass Air. Yeah, feel free to stand up if you want to come closer to look at it. It looks gorgeous. I love it. We're done.
Sorry.